Okay, let's talk about something that I think we've all felt. You know that feeling when you're putting in all the effort, you're working so hard, but you're just not seeing the results. You're spinning your wheels. Why does that happen? Why isn't all that hard work paying off? Well, we're going to get into that.
So let's start with a number, 1,000. Just imagine for a second that you've dedicated 1,000 hours to something. You're learning guitar, picking up a new language, maybe getting better at a sport. I mean, that is a serious amount of time.
But here's the thing, a lot of the time, this is what happens. You've put in those 1,000 hours, you've done the work, but you've just hit a plateau, a wall. You're not getting any better. So what gives? It's a super frustrating question, right? But today, we're going to figure out the answer.
And this all leads us to what we can call the practice paradox. It's this really weird, kind of backward idea that just throwing more time at a problem doesn't always make you better at it. More hours doesn't automatically mean more skill.
And this really boils down to the core truth of this whole thing. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Time in doesn't equal growth. Just being there, just clocking in the hours, well, it's just not enough.
So to really see how this works in the real world, let's look at a case study. We're calling this one Stuck in the Game, and it's a perfect example of how we get trapped by just repeating the same things over and over.
So, picture this. We've got a gamer, super dedicated, right? They play every single night, putting in hour after hour. But for weeks, maybe even months, they're completely stuck. Same level, same boss, just zero progress.
And this is the reason why. They're caught in what we can call a cycle of stagnation. First, they play. They put in the hours. Then, they fail at the exact same spot, over and over. And then, and this is the most important part, they blame something else. My controller has lag. Or the game is just unfair. And what do next? They repeat. They jump right back in, doing the exact same thing that just failed them. Sound familiar to anyone?
So, how do you break out of a cycle like that? Well, this is where we find the missing ingredient. The whole secret is to stop focusing on mindless repetition and start practicing active reflection. So what exactly is reflection? It's not just, sitting there thinking, oh, that went badly. It's an active process. It's about putting on your detective hat and analyzing what you actually did. You're looking for patterns in your mistakes so you can build a smarter, better plan for the next time.
I mean, just look at the difference when you put these two approaches next to each other. It's night and day. On one side, you've got the stuck mindset. They just keep making the same mistakes, completely ignoring the feedback. And the results? Well, they stay stuck. But the growth mindset? That's different. They actively learn from what's happening, and they change their strategy. The result? They actually get better. The question is, which side do you want to be on?
Okay, this is where it all comes together. Let's talk about how you can actually use this stuff. This is all about unlocking your own growth by learning to practice smarter, not just harder. So let's remember our main idea here. Time in doesn't equal growth, but reflection does. Those two little words are the entire solution. It's not about how many hours you put in, it's about the quality of the thinking you do about those hours. So here's your roadmap, a simple checklist. First, take ownership. Stop blaming the controller or the traffic or your boss. Second, analyze why you're failing. Don't just say, I messed up. Ask, where did I hesitate? What specific move did I miss? You gotta get specific. Third, look for the patterns. Are you always making the same kind of mistake? And finally, the most important step. Use all that info to create a new strategy before you even think about trying again.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. The idea is simple, but if you actually apply it, it can change everything. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. In your job, in your hobbies, in your life, where are you just putting in the time when what you really need to be doing is putting in the reflection?